Welcome and thank you for listening to this Paragon Edge audio blog. In this episode, we are going to take a closer look at the many benefits that automated performance testing provides as a critical component of a comprehensive digital payment testing strategy. Speed and uninterrupted availability have become table stakes for payment processors in the digital age. Consumers expect card authorizations in milliseconds, instant bank transfers 24/7 by 365, and loyalty points to post before they leave the checkout. Behind that friction-free facade lies an ever-expanding mesh of real-time rails, gateway APIs, security controls, and fraud detection engines. Any spike in response times or capacity bottleneck quickly snowballs into abandoned baskets, SLA penalties, and headline-making outages. Automated performance testing is the most effective way to expose those weaknesses before they hit production. By continuously replaying realistic traffic patterns at scale, and doing so inside the same DevOps pipelines that release new code, payment providers can move from reaction to prevention. A single payment outage can turn into a multi-million-dollar event. The Uptime Institute's 2024 annual outage analysis found that over half of recent critical incidents cost more than $100,000, while 1 in 5 exceeded US $1 million. These numbers exclude the reputational loss when consumers flock to competitors whose apps still work. Simultaneously, fraudsters are weaponizing latency. Machine learning systems that trigger after a few hundred milliseconds can be gamed by flooding acquirer endpoints, creating blind spots for authorization logic. Ensuring that core switches and message translators remain performant, even under synthetic attack volumes, has become a security requirement as much as an operational one. Traditional load or stress testing was a one-off, pre-go-live ceremony performed by a specialist team. In contrast, automated performance testing embeds high-volume traffic simulation directly into CI/CD workflows. Each code commit, database migration, or configuration change can trigger the following scenarios: baseline throughput checks against predefined TPS and response time thresholds, stress runs that incrementally push beyond peak volumes to locate the knee point where latency explodes, endurance scenarios that replay holiday season traffic for hours to uncover memory leaks or queue buildup. Platforms such as Paragon's Web Fastest make this possible by virtualizing issuer, acquirer, and network endpoints, then orchestrating thousands of concurrent payment messages without physical hardware. Here are 5 concrete benefits provided by an effective automated performance testing program. Number 1, proven scalability and resilience. Automated performance testing provides empirical evidence that authorization switches, fraud engines, and settlement processes keep pace with soaring transaction growth. Bottlenecks are flagged when they cost only developer time, not customer goodwill. Number 2, accelerated delivery. Integrating load scripts into shift-left pipelines means capacity regressions are caught minutes after a merge, not during a late-night cutover. Teams release features faster because they aren't babysitting manual test windows. Number 3, reduced risk of production incidents. When performance bottlenecks slip into production, they become customer-facing events. Automated performance testing exposes those failure points early, long before they cascade into expensive and embarrassing outages. By validating behavior under stress, teams preempt service degradation, prevent SLA breaches, and avoid costly incident response cycles. Number 4, evidence for compliance and audits. Regulators increasingly demand proof, not promises of capacity planning. Continuous performance testing reports and artifacts can help align with industry regulations, like the EU's Digital Operational Resilience Act, which mandates that financial entities ensure IT resilience and continuity under operational stress scenarios. And finally, number 5, data-driven capacity planning. Automated performance testing allows teams to validate payment systems in varied and realistic environments, ranging from cloud-enabled services to legacy mainframe integrations. This flexibility ensures that performance isn't only tested in ideal conditions, but also under the constraints and configurations that mirror real-world production. More coverage means fewer surprises post-deployment. Here are several suggestions for building an effective automated performance testing strategy. First, model real traffic. Use production telemetry or Paragon's performance testing best practice guide to define authentic arrival patterns, message mixes, and volumer spikes. Second, test the full path. Include upstream tokenization services and downstream core banking hosts, not just middleware, so lateral contention appears in metrics. Third, shift left and right. Kick off smoke level load tests on every pull request, but also schedule weekly soak tests to catch aging-related issues. Fourth, automate pass-fail gates. Codify SLAs and let pipelines fail automatically when breached. And fifth, visualize and iterate. Feed metrics into the built-in dashboards in Web Fast Test to compare builds and track latency drift. Paragon Web Fast Test is a cloud-enabled suite that replays high-volume financial transaction messages, integrates with external apps like GitHub Actions or Jenkins, and scales elastically for stress or endurance campaigns. Paragon Virtual ATM is an ideal tool when you need to inject ATM-specific traffic patterns into broader performance suites. By consolidating functional, regression, and performance testing in a single platform, teams avoid context switching and duplicate script maintenance. One test definition can validate new card scheme mandates while simultaneously benchmarking TPS at peak holiday volumes. Automated performance testing turns capacity planning from a finger-crossed afterthought into a measurable, code-reviewable discipline. By embedding realistic, large-scale simulations into everyday delivery pipelines, payment providers achieve resilient systems that scale with consumer expectations, faster release cadences backed by data-driven confidence, quantifiable compliance evidence for regulators and auditors, lower remediation costs, and reduced breach exposure. In a marketplace where a few milliseconds can make or break conversion rates, automated performance testing is not merely an engineering best practice. It is a competitive necessity. To learn more about how Paragon's testing tools and simulators enable organizations to create, automate, and execute an effective performance testing strategy for payment systems, visit us today at www.paragonedge.com. Thank you for listening.